Vi, vi. Realmente não achei o verbo to make. Ele, ok. Ele não existe e possa ter havido, mas eu como não sou am naked, she was naked. Ele indica um estado, né? Um verbo daqueles que a gente chama de state of being. Ele dá decomposível, decompostável. Uma palavra que a gente não divide. Pronto. Tá muito lento, não tô entendendo por que tá assim hoje. O computador não. Não é, tem alguma coisa errada. Deve estar usando muito mais. Alguma coisa assim. Metador de disco quando ele chega em casa. Por isso que eu gosto de computador de mesa. Torcer para que dê certo. So today we're going to see the difference. Que não vai carregar. Computador não me faz perder a paciência. Okay, so derivational morphemes. are the parts of speech. Verbs, prepositions, nouns, so on. Okay? So when the word goes through a adjective into noun or vice versa. Okay? So this is what happens when I derive something. And I gave you the very silly but effective example. Clearly associate the tree that was used to build to make this chair. Okay? So when you look at a word that there. Okay? So derivation, okay, is not required by syntax, and it's not very productive. Now, what do I mean by the morpheme this? I have like and dislike, but I don't have hate and dishate, love and dislove. Okay, so that's what I mean by not very productive suffixes. For example, the derivation happy, which is an adjective, and then I can talk about happily, which is an a derivational morpheme, and in this case, it's a derivational adverb forming morpheme. Okay, I can also have, for example, okay, no, lovely is the same example. It's an adverbial. Beauty and beautiful by adding. Okay, so this is what derivation is about. So usually verb to adjective. One of the possible examples, we have seen others. I'll never more animate doesn't want to work. Let's be fair, not baiano, soteropolitano, because baianos work a lot. Okay. So, from noun to adjective, trouble, noun, symbol, turned into a verb. So I call this eyes a derivational verb forming that, depending on the context, it will come. You can consider judge a noun. The judge gave the sentence. So meant is a derivational noun forming suffix. So if I ask you to classify the suffixes forming, the first thing you have to analyze is the word class of the resultant word in the process of derivation. If that word is a verb, probably I'd say a process. is a derivational verb forming suffix or prefix. Okay? Normally a suffix. Apply a word class change. Okay? This is the case for anti, this, ex, and by, ultra. Okay? Or mon. Okay? A compound word that works as an adjective. Feminist is also an adjective. Okay? Uh, yes, adjectives. Ex, ex-husband. It's still a noun. Okay. In case there happens to be a change in the grammatical meaning. Sorry, there happens to be a change in the grammatical class and in meaning. Okay, useless. And also use, meaning exactly the opposite, the idea of using something if something is used, one belonging to semantics. Let me be fair. One belonging to syntax and another one belonging to semantics, because semantics is also are related to the universe of inflection. Oh, very good. Yeah, you didn't know that. Now, what is an inflection with this? What is an inflection? Vou fazer o seguinte, carrega aí. What is an inflection? E com os casos, não é isso? Você faz de acordo com os casos. Dativa, ablativa, eu não sei nenhum deles, mas eu sei que eles existem. Né? Eu fugi da aula de lá. Em que ebrius anuris non eris domini, essa parte eu entendi muito bem porque eu já conheço o ditado em português sobre alguma coisa de bêbado. Né? Mas enfim, e aí, Paulo? uh, Inflections in English are almost the same as they are in Latin, because English was, let's say, okay? When you change a word to provide grammatical agreement, to provide number agreement, to provide verb tense, plural size here. When you change the word for grammatical reasons and you use a suffix for that, then you are using the process, add extra grammatical information. These words which are inflected are not listed in the dictionary. Okay, You never find another one for, uh, no, rubber has no plural. Definition for computer and another definition for computers. Okay? It's presumed inflections and their functions when you are teaching ESP or the famous English instrumental. They are the suffixes that really matter for someone trying to understand the process of the language. Could happen in other languages to be prefixes, but in English they only happen to be suffixes, and they are always bound morphemes. Okay, these three are nouns, but in different contexts of happening. Okay, one shoe, two shoes. The the shoes heel, yeah, south. The shoes heel. So this is the genitive case. Now, if you take a grammatical difference of occurrence for this, and for this. This too is considered to be a morpheme because it changes the way the verb is understood. Okay? Giving the idea of. And they can also be bound morphemes like the final S and the final ED. Here I have the same word. Take this word. What's the word class? Sail. Verb, noun. So what's the big difference? Present and past. Tense different. Inflectional. With which function? Function, okay? Be careful because the final ed can sometimes be a participle morpheme, okay? And then it's also inflectional, but with a sailed by him. Sailed, sailed. Final ed, final ed. In this case, a past morpheme. There, an inflectional. It's inflectional, yes or no? Is it inflectional? Viviane shaked her head, yes. So, are these morphemes homophones or allomorphs? Sailed, sailed. Finally, they are homophones. They happen to be the same count. Good. Uh, I don't understand. Which word? Two. Yes, it's a bound morpheme. No, depending on the two. Two. Uh, uh, the man to go depends. If you take it as a preposition, I'm going to UFMA. This two is about linguistics. This two is not the same two as in I'm going to UFMA. It's not a preposition. It's part of the infinitive of the verb. O preposição, que indica direção de algo. I'm going to the shopping mall. O outro to é o to que é associado ao verbo para dar a ideia de infinitivo. Você não diz I like do something. I like to do something. É isso que dá muito nó, inclusive, na cabeça de aluno de nível básico. Por que ele tem que... Seria a lógica dele, né? Na tradução do Talking English, da tradução do meu amigo John, né? Lá da página. Mas não é, né? Correr, ar, andar, em inglês é dado pelo to, colocado antes. Por isso ele é considerado um morfema, né? To. Ele não é da mesma instância da preposição. It happens to be a homophone and it happens to be spelling, okay? It happens to be almost the same word, but almost is not completely. Okay? They look like, but they are not the same. Prepositions are never free morphemes. Lembra do and, do on, do at? Né? Perfeitamente sem o and. Né? O and ele está lá para prover coesão gramatical. Ele é um function morpheme. Né? Não, peraí. Agora, is free. It's function free morpheme. É isso. É que até eu tô me perdendo nas duas distinções. Tem a dicotomia function e content morpheme. E tem a U não é to igual o to do... Entendeu? To. É que nem na fonética. Né? Você tem to. So we have 8 English inflectional morphemes. Okay. The first one is defined at home. Okay. É fácil de lembrar esses morfemas. Eles são só 8. Né? Os inflexionais são só 8. To define it, do you have to memorize them? If you know the definition, you analyze that morpheme and you conclude if they are. We have the ed for past tense as in she waited at home. And this is the only ed for past tense. Is this the only one? There is the ed for participle. Okay? So this ed past tense is put here as an example, but there is its homophone ed for part. The famous present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. Every time you listen someone talking about the n, past participle, teacher, why not ed? Just your phones, okay? So, but if I put ed, this may lead you to confusion. So I decided to put n, like it has an yes, an allomorph ed, okay? Just like add has a lot, it's included here. Past tense, okay? It's an allomorph. Like it's plural, which is not this. They happen to be as singular and as plural, as third person singular and as plural. They are during the exam. Vai na minha. Homophones, very good. Eu induzi ao erro e vocês foram. They are homophones, very good, Juliana. Why homophone? Yeah, very, very different. Like in, sorry, which is also a, this, and this are homophones, okay? Big, bigger, large, larger, smart, smarter, okay? This is the comparative morpheme. And Kate, is there an allomorph for this? Is there an allomorph for this structure? Then there is a syntactical structure to substitute this morpheme, but I cannot call it an allomorph. Why not? It's another morpheme. So there are two morphemes that play the role of this. Yes. Player, like the one that performs the action. Yes, please don't make confusion. Okay, because this is the for comparative, like bright, brighter. Same happens to the est superlative. The biggest, the smallest, the tallest. The... Pô, hoje o computador tá de sacanagem comigo. Só pode. Hoje quem não dormiu foi ele. Fits that can play the role of this morpheme, but it's not a morpheme. Which is it? For example, big, which is one syllable, the superlative is the biggest. Now, intelligent, I say the intelligentest. Of course not. The most, I think, because the most is joining a morpheme, the article the, plus the other morpheme most, okay? Eu não vou mais animar slide, pronto. Vou trazer tudo sem animação. É o programa de gravação que deixa a máquina lenta. Aí... Okay, there's no problem. Okay, so the major differences between derivational and inflectional morphemes. Okay, derivational morphemes, in terms of position, they are closer, further from the stem. What do I mean by this? They are more to the end of the word. Okay, if you have a derivational morpheme and an inflectional morpheme, whereas the inflectional will be the last one. This is what I mean by further from the stem. Okay. In terms of product valid for a word may not be valid for another one. Okay. Usually, inflectional morphemes are productive. Ed is ed. Okay, don't ask me about irregularities. If Saussure could not give an account of the irregularities of the language, I can't either. Okay? But if every word ending up in ly uh, is probably of mode. And the meaning in derivation is often unpredictable. And in inflection, it's past tense, it's either past tense or past participle. Okay, you can predict that. Uh, Whereas I cannot, as I told you, we have like and dislike, but we don't have this hate. Although grammar, although the structure of the word allows by productivity, this is just a footnote, the extent to which a word formation rule can be applied to new morphemes to form new words. How many view of what we have seen, the dichotomies we have seen? First dichotomy, as I said, free and bound. Okay? And this you must massacre, gente. Isso é um mantra. What is a free morpheme? Isso é um mantra. Repita o mantra comigo. That can be a word on its own. By opposition, bound morphemes can, inside the bound morphemes, we also have the distinction derivational and inflectional, into derivational and inflectional. So every derivational morpheme is bound, and every root is free. Okay, for sure. But every word is a free morpheme. Okay, every word, every one morpheme word is composed by one free for the two distinctions, the two dichotomies we have been studying. Okay, any question about this? Yeah, but let's not make confusion between able verb, sorry, as an adjective. Okay, um, that game is unplayable. That's another able. That's okay. They just happen to be homophones. So let's talk about affixes. Either at the beginning or at the ending of a base morpheme. If they come at the beginning, we call them prefix. If they come at the end, we call them. And if they come at the beginning and at the end, we call them circumfixes. But we will not study in because I would be very tricked by this. So an affix is usually a morpheme that cannot fix is usually a morpheme that cannot stand alone. Põe para mim em linguagem de morfossintaxista. An affix is full, as in beautiful, li, as in happily, et, as in vanity, and as able, like, unless are the exceptions for this. As you asked, playable able to, okay? So, a word. Uh, so I guess, eu acho que eu pisei na bola com você na explicação anterior, Paulo. Esse able é o mesmo, tá? Então, o like é a mesma coisa. Ah, ok, eu pisei na bola. I pisate on the ball and I alguma coisa like, né? Something like. For example, John's English is a Portuguese-like English. Esse like is a word on its own, but it can be used as a suffix. For example, this is a this is a okay, um, and the same for less. Yeah, less meaning not having a certain feature, if it was here or in Língua, Cultura e Identidade, the give one of John Armless. Já ouviram falar da expressão da uma de João sem braço? Não. Foi aqui, João sem braço, John Armless. For example, use useless. Okay, if something is useless, it has no use. But the word less as an opposite for more. Okay, so they are the exceptions. Okay, and I apologize for considering able as another morphem. It's the same because you had morphosyntax in Portuguese, yeah, and the in, for example, in the word inspect is a suffix by definition is what comes after the base morpheme or after the root. Base morpheme root. Sometimes I feel a little bit like raining in the wet, chovendo no molhado. Ele não trabalha, não trabalha. Quando ele resolve trabalhar, trabalha demais. Vamos voltar. Muito okay. There's no free morpheme to be an affix. Free morphemes then are always exclusion. Yeah. If bound morphemes, if affixes are always bound, then okay, free morphemes and the suffixes are bound morphemes which can occur following other morphemes. An, this, and pre are examples of what can only happen after other morphemes. Okay? Any question about this? É a mesma coisa. É mais ou menos isso que eu falo, que não tem sentido semântico, né? Eu não saberia fazer essa distinção. É porque a sintaxe, digamos que ele não tem um sentido relacionado ao mundo real, né? É uma de repente fazer essa distinção, né? A gente faz a separação, mas a gente sabe que ela é ilusória, né? A gente tem que se vestir dessa máscara e aceitar, né? Na verdade, para dar essa disciplina, enfim. Mas eu acho que é um bom caminho. É aquilo que o bound morpheme, né? É aquilo que não tem o sentido que você não pode falar no mundo, olha, isso aqui é um diz, posição, mas você não pode falar, olha, é isso aqui, né? Diferentemente de, sei lá, biology, né? Você pode dizer o que é, né? As duas coisas são descritíveis, tem o tal do sentido antropocultural. Boa, boa, vou pegar essa pra mim, né? Quem foi que deu morfossintaxe em português pra vocês? Mônica Cruz? Boa, boa. Só podia ser. Okay, and in next class, and I hope the computer is a little bit smarter, okay? We'll talk about grammar. Nós vamos falar então de grammatical morphemes e qual a função que eles têm, ok? Por hoje acho que deu. São 9:10. Ficou com o áudio prejudicado. Por isso hoje eu ter dado uma voltada para regravar algumas coisas.